everybody, I'm Kim Edwards with cookingwithkimberly.com, and today I'm going to show you guys how to break down a pumpkin, how to disassemble a pumpkin. Now we always get a pumpkin in the fall, but we don't really do jack-o'-lanterns for Halloween, but we do use the pumpkin for our pie filling for Thanksgiving and Christmas. So this will be our Christmas one, and I'm going to do something really fancy and awesome. I'm going to show you guys how to do a really neat way of making pumpkin pie filling. But not today. Right now, I'm just going to show you how to break it down so you can actually work with it and make something with it, okay? So, and not a jack-o'-lantern. I'm not showing you how to do jack-o'-lantern. So I have a very sharp, strong, little tiny knife that I'm going to, you're going to do it just like a jack-o'-lantern though in the beginning. I want to cut a circle around the top, okay? Around the stem. So that's what I'm going to do. We're going to see how difficult this pumpkin is going to be for me, okay? You're going to want to go into the pumpkin like that on a diagonal. All the way around. Diagonal, diagonal, diagonal. Got me? So that you can easily get that lid off, okay? So in we go. That's thick and strong. Get your knife in there and just work your way around. There's no awesome technique to this. It's just do it. Okay, pumpkins are not easy to deal with. They're very hard, clunky, odd-shaped, but they're tasty, that's for sure. Whoever discovered that the first pumpkin was tasty to eat was awesome. In they go. Oh, see how hard that is? Oh, that's what's up. You need to use some aloe grace for these, okay? Make sure that your lines are lining up with the next cut so that it comes off properly. Almost done, y'all. This pumpkin has been washed and dried as well. Almost there. Ooh. Okay. There's my top off, okay? Now inside, you're going to have all this shaggy stuff. Don't worry, don't let it scare you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep these seeds because I like pumpkin seeds. I'm going to roast them. So what I want to do is I want to scrape out all the insides. I'm just going to put it in this bowl for now. We're going to talk about that at another time. But right now, like I said, we're going to make this just a little bit more easy to deal with. Now I'm going to use my great big chef knife. It's very, very sharp. And I don't want to waste any of this flesh. Underneath this stem, there's a ton of flesh too. So I'm going to cut this like straggly stuff off that I don't need. That's nothing that I need. And I'm going to chop off this here, extra flesh, which is very difficult to deal with. Please don't cut yourself, hurt yourself. You'll feel terrible if you did that. There it goes. I guess I wasn't meant to have that one. The dogs were. Oh, well. There it goes on the floor. So anyway, that's a nice big chunk of flesh, so use that too. Okay? Alright. Now, inside you're going to see more of that stuff. And instead of doing like the jack-o'-lantern way where you're in here trying to fish it all out, I'm going to make it easy. We're going to disassemble this sucker. So you can just scrape it out, and it's super easy, and you don't really have to get so darn messy. Okay? Sharp knife. Slice it all the way from one top to the bottom. Basically, you're going to slice it in half. That's what I'm looking to do, okay? And I'm going to go on the other side, and I'm going to do the same thing. And I'm going to hope that I can line these lines up on the bottom. Okay. Here we go. Ready? Broke it open. Beautiful. That is, it doesn't look like such a big pumpkin, but it sure is a big pumpkin to deal with on your counter. Okay? Alright, so I'm going to show you half of it. I don't need to show you all of it. Of course I'm going to do all of it, though. That's what it looks like. Okay? I got a bowl. I have a great big spoon, serving spoon. And I'm just going to scrape this out of the center. All the stragglies and the seeds. Anything that doesn't look like nice flesh, get rid of it. Don't need it. Set it aside if you want to save the seeds to roast. I'll show you how to do that too. Woo. Now this could take a second, so sit tight, guys. I didn't prepare. I wanted to actually show you real time, just because I'm ambitious like that. All right, scrape, scrape, scrape. Now, of course, the smaller pumpkin is easier to deal with. Bigger pumpkins, you have lots more flesh, but it's a lot to work with. Okay. All right, still scraping. I'm about halfway done, one half of the side. All right. In it goes to my bowl. Actually, it won't let go yet. Hold on. Okay. Now, actually, part of this pumpkin, you have lots of different things you can do with pumpkin. Now, I'm going to do part of this pumpkin for our pumpkin pie, like I said. And I'm going to do a snazzy way. I'm not telling you how yet. And then the other part of the pumpkin I'm going to use for tonight's dinner. I made whole mackerel. I made lemon cedar leaf mackerel. I'm going to barbecue it on the grill, and I'm going to put this on the grill with it. Okay, that's the seeds and the straggles. I don't know what else to call them. I don't know the official proper term for that, anatomical term. All right, here's the rest of your seeds. Get it all out. Get it all out. Sit this up. All right. Those are beautiful seeds too. I can't wait to roast those. Okay. Now you're done with your spoon and your bowl. And I'm gonna wash my hands quickly because they're slippery. All right. And I don't have a towel. I did have a towel, but it's gone. All right. So this is now an empty shelled pumpkin. Check it out. See that? Beautiful. Okay. And I'm just going to cut it into, like, workable pieces. So, like, for dinner, these look like they're about, I don't know, 2 inches, maybe 2.5 inches thick is the skin. Smaller pumpkins have thinner flesh. And I'm just going to proceed to do the same thing I did when I cut it in half. So I'm going to cut a nice slice, maybe 3 or 4 inches in width. Whoa! And of course, these are guesstimates because you never know exactly how that knife is going to pile through that hard flesh. And I'm going to continue to do that. So I'm going to do one more of these slices, and then I'm going to show you a little more. I don't have to show you the whole pumpkin, right? Okay. Use your knife. Be careful. There we go. Okay, so here's 2 pieces I can deal with. See how much better that is? Now I can deal with these guys. Okay. Grab my little cloth then. There you go. So here's my pumpkin pieces, and I'm just going to, I don't know, cut them in thirds, I guess. This looks like a third, maybe 3-inch chunks. There we go. And that looks like a serving size for squash, for a side dish for dinner. And that's how we're gonna roll. So here's 6 pieces. All right. That's a nice big piece. There we go. So here's your pieces. And that's how you disassemble a pumpkin. So now you have chunks. If you want to puree these down and cook them down for pumpkin pie filling or muffin filling or whatever, pumpkin stuff, pumpkin puree, you're going to want to get rid of the skin. Okay, so you're going to have to peel the skin off. And that's not so fun, or slice it off. Not so fun, but hey, you got to do it. But if you're going to barbecue it, I suggest keeping the skin on and roasting them side down. Okay, so the skin side down. You might even want to score it a little bit, each side, or just tap it like that. Make some lines in the skin so that it heats more thoroughly and gets in there, right? And I would just roast it like that, but I wouldn't necessarily put it on direct heat the whole way. I would put it on there maybe for a little bit, and then I'm going to cook it indirectly. So that means you're going to have the burner on next to it and put the pumpkin next to the burner. So the burner's here, and your pumpkin sits on here on the grill next to it, not right above the direct flame, but next to, still getting the heat from the barbecue. Make sure you keep the lid closed if you're trying to cook pumpkin. Now, if I'm going to, if you want to do like this whole pumpkin, if you have like a ton of people, geez, I would, get ready because you're going to need the entire barbecue for that. You might want to start that before you start meat or anything else on the grill. I would do this first if you had a full grill of pumpkin, okay? And that's how you disassemble pumpkin. Simple. Easy, right? All right, so check me out on Twitter at Cooking with Kim E with a capital E. Go to the Facebook fan page, facebook.com/cookingwithkimberly. Check out my shows on YouTube, youtube.com/cookingwithkimberly, and the site is cookingwithkimberly.com. Hope you guys eat deliciously. Have an awesome, awesome week. Ciao. Bye.